I was merely strolling by when an impulse urged me to step inside. But what I overheard from my unfaithful wife as she emerged from the bathroom, wrapped in nothing but a towel, rendered me utterly speechless. In that moment, I knew my revenge would be swift, merciless, and far beyond anything she could ever anticipate. She had no clue what was coming. The day had begun like any other. I had left work earlier than usual, my thoughts consumed by the high-stakes merger I was negotiating. As I drove past our townhouse on my way to the gym, something made me stop. Maybe it was intuition. Maybe it was fate. I parked outside, immediately noticing Isabel's car in the driveway. Strange. She had told me she'd be working late and wouldn't be home until much later. A cold chill ran down my spine, but I brushed it off. You're overthinking, Adrian, I told myself. Yet a nagging doubt lingered. Moving cautiously, I unlocked the front door as quietly as possible. The house was eerily silent, except for the faint sound of running water from the upstairs bathroom. Then I heard it. A man's voice, lighthearted, amused. That was incredible, he chuckled. I can't believe you're actually going through with this. I froze. A second later, Isabel's laughter rang out, breathy, satisfied. Adrian is completely clueless, she said smugly. He's so easy to deceive. He thinks I'm stuck at work. We have all the time in the world. Silence followed. Then the unmistakable sound of a kiss. My fingers tightened around the staircase railing, my knuckles turning white. A numb sensation crept through my body as my mind raced at 1,000 miles per hour. She was betraying me, right now in our home, in our bed. I should have stormed upstairs. I should have kicked open the door, dragged the bastard out, and demanded an explanation. But I didn't. Instead, I inhaled slowly, exhaling just as deliberately, because in that instant, I understood this wouldn't end in a screaming match. No, this would end in revenge. And I would make sure it was precise, ruthless, and devastatingly thorough. Turning on my heel, I stepped back into the shadows and walked out of the house, sliding into my car. But I wasn't drowning in rage or heartbreak. No, I was calculating. My marriage was over, I accepted that. But I wasn't about to slink away like some shattered, betrayed husband. Isabel had made a grave error. She had underestimated me. And now, she was about to learn why that would be the biggest mistake of her life. I pulled out my phone and called Luca, my closest friend, a man with an unparalleled talent for digital security. Luca, I said, my voice unnervingly calm, I need you to do something for me. There was a brief pause before his cautious reply. Adrian, what's going on? My wife is cheating on me, I stated flatly. I need proof. Everything. Another pause. Then, finally, I'm on it. Within 48 hours, Luca had done what he did best. He retrieved every text call log and hotel reservation Isabel had made with her lover. But that wasn't all. He had also accessed our home security system and extracted footage of them together. Undeniable evidence. That was when my plan began. A simple divorce was too easy. I wouldn't just walk away. No, I would ensure she lost everything. Her reputation, her comfort, her pride. The first step was psychological. For the next few days, I acted as though nothing had changed. I kissed her forehead each morning, asked about her day, played the doting husband, even brought her coffee in bed, all while setting the stage for her downfall. She had no idea that each tender gesture was a carefully placed piece of the puzzle leading to her inevitable ruin. To seal my revenge, I arranged a perfect deception. A romantic weekend in an extravagant villa just outside the city, a place we had always dreamed of visiting. Oh my God, Adrian, she gasped, eyes gleaming with excitement as she played the part of the devoted wife. You're amazing. I smiled warmly. Anything for you, my love. She had no clue that while she eagerly packed for our trip, I was finalizing the destruction of her world. She would return home to nothing. No security, no money, no place to call her own. And the best part? The real revenge hadn't even started. On the morning of our supposed getaway, I told her I had a few work matters to attend to and would meet her at the villa later. She left first, blissfully unaware of the storm brewing behind her. The moment she was out of sight, I set my plan into motion. I called my lawyer and finalized the divorce papers. I froze all our joint accounts, ensuring she had no financial access. Then, I sent every shred of evidence, her messages, her secret rendezvous, every detail of her infidelity, to her family, her friends, and even her workplace. The pristine reputation she had meticulously built over the years crumbled in an instant. Yet, the pinnacle of my revenge was still waiting for her. When Isabel arrived at the villa, she was met with an exquisitely set table, a chilled bottle of champagne, and an elegant folder. Confused, she opened it, expecting a heartfelt note or a weekend itinerary. Instead, she found printed copies of her text exchanges with her lover, surveillance photos, and, resting on top, a set of divorce papers. A handwritten note lay beside them. I happened to be passing by and thought I'd drop in, but what I overheard changed everything. You never saw this coming. Consider this my parting gift. I wished I could have seen the expression on her face, but witnessing her breakdown held no interest for me. I never showed up at the villa, never called. Instead, I switched off my phone and left her alone, drowning in the undeniable proof of her own betrayal. The messages, the photos, the receipts, everything laid out like the autopsy of our marriage. And yet, she still didn't grasp the full magnitude of what was unfolding. While she sat there in stunned silence, scrambling to figure out her next move, I was already executing the final stage of my plan. I ensured that the truth reached every person who mattered. I sent copies of the evidence to her boss, a high-ranking executive in the finance industry, ensuring she had more than just a broken marriage to mourn. Her parents, who had always believed she was the embodiment of perfection, received everything. Even her closest friends, the ones who used to say, "You're so lucky to have Isabel," saw the truth laid bare. Within hours, the phone call started. I ignored them all. Her world was unraveling, and I was just getting started. That evening, after hours of silence, I finally powered my phone back on. The first messages that greeted me were from Isabel. "Adrian, please. We need to talk. I don't know what's going on, but my bank cards aren't working. Did you do something? Why is my mom calling me in tears? Adrian, what have you done?" I smirked and sent a single response. "You'll find out soon enough." Then I blocked her. When Isabel finally drove back home, likely thinking she could somehow salvage the situation, she was met with a sight she never expected. Her suitcases sitting on the front lawn. Next to them stood a moving truck, ready to haul away what little she had left. And right in front of the house, staring at her with sheer disappointment, were her parents. Panic flashed across her face as she rushed toward them. "What's going on?" she demanded. Her mother shook her head, tears shimmering in her eyes. "We saw everything, Isabel." Her father's expression was carved from stone, pure disgust evident in every line. "You're no daughter of mine," he spat. "You had a good husband, a stable home, a life most people dream of, and you threw it all away. For what? A meaningless fling." He gestured in exasperation. "You disgust me." Tears streaked her face. "Dad, please." He cut her off sharply. "Adrian showed us everything. Do you have any idea how ashamed we are?" She turned to me then, fury burning through her sorrow-filled eyes. You did this." I folded my arms, leaning casually against my car. "No, Isabel, you did this. I just made sure you paid for it." Her gaze darted to the house, desperation setting in. "You can't kick me out. This is my home, too." I let out a slow, knowing smirk. "Not anymore." She blinked, confusion morphing into dread. "What?" I exhaled as if explaining something simple. "I had the house transferred to my name weeks ago," I said smoothly. "You weren't paying attention, just like you weren't paying attention when I drained our joint accounts." Her hands flew to her mouth in horror. You can't do this to me." I shrugged. "Oh, but I already did." And that wasn't the end of it. Her job? Gone. Her boss wasn't particularly keen on employing someone whose personal scandal had become public knowledge. Turns out high-ranking executives don't appreciate that kind of drama. Her friends? They vanished. Turns out they had been my friends all along. And the man she had thrown everything away for? The moment she lost her comfort, her security, her status, he disappeared too, ghosted her completely. Classic. 3 days later, she sent me one final message. Adrian, I have nowhere to go. Please, I made a mistake. I miss you. We can fix this. I never replied, because in that moment, I knew she finally understood. She had been so certain, so confident that no matter what, I would always be there, that I would forgive, that I would take her back. But now she had nothing, and I was finally free. 2 weeks later, I sat in my new office, promotion secured, a fresh city waiting to be explored, and a brand new beginning ahead. I had cut every last tie to Isabel, and I had never felt lighter. Then, as I scrolled through social media, something caught my eye, a photo. Isabel, sitting alone in a rundown cafe, looking exhausted, defeated, and utterly broken. The caption? Some mistakes can never be undone. Damn right. I leaned back in my chair, a satisfied smirk tugging at my lips. Revenge is best served cold. And Isabel, she was frozen solid. Because cheating isn't just about betraying love. It's about destroying trust, dignity, and the belief that someone will always be there for you. But when the person you betrayed turns around and walks away without a second glance, that's when you realize you've lost everything.